Hi, Georgiana. How are you doing today?
Hi, Santosh. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. And thank you for joining our founder talk show. And this is our episode number 5. And thank you for joining the talk show. Wisen, we are actually trying to solve the problem.
Mhm.
So, where people can actually join Wisen and they can create the time slots and they don't have to go to another platforms like Google Meet or Zoom Meet. So, we have our in house video calling feature. So, where you can directly join here and after the session, you can actually record the session also.
Ah,
And
yeah.
we have a summary for after completing the whole interview or any conversation like one-on-one session. We are providing AI generated text, so where the people can share those more ideas. And even we are having a follow-up option where you don't have to go to email or you don't have to go to any other platform to share the documents or something like that, any notes or something like that.
Mhm.
Again, you can come here and you can follow the same meeting, same particular meeting, and you can you can schedule back again with the same particular person. Again, it goes by threads, something like that, so you don't have to change up platform to platform to connect with only one particular person, right? So that's what we are trying to solve, and with complete verified profiles, as I mentioned you in the
Oh,
in our
I
first
wanted to
call.
ask. Yes, because I
Yeah,
remember it was the initial, the underlying idea.
yeah, it's been almost like 4 5 months, I think, and we are still working on our platform, and we are currently building the website and also both Android and iOS applications too. So
Okay.
that's where we are getting more challenges to complete all the tasks and all. And we have more functionalities like hiring, communities, events, and in-house seminars, something like that. So all these features coming up in the Wisen application right now.
Got it. Okay, so you want to focus it basically, what would be the ideal final product? A bundle
So
of
yeah,
events and one-on-ones?
yeah, exactly. One-on-one is more important right now. Even in future, basically to connect with the people or connect with someone, one-on-one is most important thing. So instead of going messaging something in LinkedIn or trying to message in WhatsApp or trying to message in um, email or something like that. So instead of that, come to Wisen, you can create your particular slots and you can connect with the people.
Mm-hmm.
Connecting main vision is like connecting people across the globe with one-on-one meetings,
Yeah.
and where every user in this platform, like coming to this while they're coming to this platform, they're completely verified. So without verification, we are not going to enter them into this platform.
Yeah, I see what's
Yeah,
the differentiating point.
even
Mm-hmm.
if you want to talk to your users or if you want to talk with your team or if you want to talk with any other investors or any other startup founders, you can actually come to this platform. You can check their availability slots and you can book them. You can start networking.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, yeah. I love to see it when you feel like it's in good shape if it's not already.
yeah, sure. I'll make things, and I'll give you the application to test out something like that.
Mm-hmm. We love to be
Yeah,
one of the early users.
cool. And let's dive into the questions and answers. Like uh, so your work experience like is varied, like from ranging product management and fintech to operations and economics, right? So what drove your transitions, and how do you went up into each position and get ready for the next steps and all? So because it's varied from different level of things, so how did you manage to go into?
Yeah, happy to. Thanks for the question. So it's true. I made quite a few career transitions. I moved from central banking, worked for the European Central Bank. I always say the equivalent of the Fed for Europe. Then I went into investment banking at Goldman Sachs, and then technical product management at Amazon across fintech and Alexa, and now building the startup crossings. So the way I made, or what was the catalyst behind each move, I would say the following. I knew I wanted initially to work on monetary policy and be a macroeconomist
Mm-hmm.
uh, from being a student. I really wanted to have this analytical role, so that's how I went into central banking. Worked for DCB for around 6 years. Learned a lot about how to work with data, quantitative and qualitative standpoint. So it's been a very meaningful stage in my life. I
Mm-hmm.
had a variety of assignments, working in task forces, working in payments infrastructure across Europe. I love the job, but at some point I felt that I needed a change, and I was too much of a generalist. So I wanted to build more specialized knowledge and also work on transactions, big transactions. So that's how I also wanted to work in a more dynamic environment. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how I started thinking that I would like to pursue investment banking. Went
Mm-hmm.
into investment banking, uh, worked for a while, and was a lot of data, so very data driven type of role, and knew that someday I would like to build something. So I knew I was a builder at heart, and I started working backwards from what would get me to that role, and that was product management. I valued the pros and evaluated the pros and cons, and landed on product management. And yeah, I built a whole different type of skills that some many of the skills were transferable, as I like to say. And that's how I ended up being a product manager, or how they call it, the CEO of the product.
Cool. That's really amazing. Because it's been almost like how many years of experience you have period, like before starting up crossings and all?
So around 10 years. Yeah,
Around 10
10,
years. Yeah, that's
around
really
10 years
great. Yeah.
across three quite different industries. But yeah.
Mm, yeah. So, what lessons, like, what are the important lessons you have applied to your job as a product manager? And from coming as an analyst for your time into Amazon and European Central Bank, like, what important lessons you have learned over there, and how the team managing things and dividing the task or something like that. So, how did you end up learning all this stuff?
So as I was saying, there's a lot of transferable skills, even if the industry was finance and I was moving into tech. But my first
Mm,
product indeed was building the buy now pay later product with a firm for Amazon in the US and then Canada. So it was fintech. Essentially, there were
mm,
some synergies there. I learned a lot about risk management as being an economist for the ECB. So risk management played a big part. There's a skill set you build maybe even without being aware of it. Meaning that as I was working on the fintech product, I felt that I was a bit more agile in identifying any type of legal issues or potential regulatory problems, or which helped me in building, for instance, disclaimers for the customers, or thinking through the customer experience in a more analytical way, more informed way, because of my past experience. Data. Uh, Product management is a very data driven role, so it helped me because specifically in the ECB, I was managing collateral portfolio. I was working on data analysis, working with dashboards, so extracting data and insights from it. So I had a both quantitative and analytical role there. So
mhm.
that helped me a lot. And working with many other teams, with a variety of teams. That was another overlap, standing from legal to front office in as an economist, and it's pretty much everyone knows that as a product manager, you work with so many teams depending on the product that you're building, from marketing, design, legal, and yeah, and many other stakeholders. So I would say that that was again something that prepared me and also positioned me well when I was interviewing for the
Yeah.
product.
Yeah, got it, got it. So let's dive into our platform crossing. So, can you give us like a brief overview of what crossings is about?
Sure. So we're solving the AI talent crisis by hyper personalizing job search, upskilling, and networking for AI career, early career talent. So right
Mm-hmm.
now, for go to market, our prime audience is students, new grads, uh, other professionals who are entering the AI uh,
Mm-hmm.
market, talent market. And in Nashville, it has quite a few functionalities, meaning you can network with similar hires at target companies or individuals who share similarities across their career journey with you, so that we boost referrals and we strengthen those connections. uh,
Mm-hmm.
high precision job matching, identifying the skills and mapping those to the right job opportunities or projects or gigs for candidates, and getting hired. This is the outcome. That's why in the future we want to work with recruiters to bring the most valuable talent pool to them. And we do this through, right now we have an iOS app,
Mm-hmm.
which we're building constantly features, and a job board that is targeting mostly rising AI and ML talent.
Yeah, that's really cool. And even I download the app and I went upon checking the complete application. It's really amazing.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, no problem. So, what inspired you to leave the corporate world, the Amazon and other companies? And so, yeah, you end up with Amazon, right, at the last. And who inspired you, or what inspired you to start this new crossings platform, this new venture?
Sure. I've been on the both sides of the table, in either
Mm-hmm.
as a job seeker through all my career transitions, and being in the space of analytics, data science for more than 10 years, wearing different hats.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also on the other side of the table as a hiring manager, recruiting talent. I was, as I was saying, in fintech, and I was in conversational AI in Alexa. So I've seen how difficult it is to capture the right talent and retain it. And now with, especially with the skills half-life shrinking to less than even 2.5 years with AI,
Mm-hmm.
it's becoming imperative that you get the right talent and you keep it. And on the job seeker side, I've always been amazed with how, despite all the opportunities there, all the platforms that we have, it's still such a cumbersome,
Mm-hmm.
impersonal process. It's very fragmented. Everyone that looks for a job right now consults a variety of job dashboards, uh, reaches out to people through cold outreach. It's very
Yeah.
low response rate because often you don't know who shares some similarities with you when you resonate to their story. And most importantly, also, and I remember myself even when I was transitioning, not just at the beginning of my career, it's hard to identify what are you will you perform best and what is the best career pathway for you. So we're solving for that. That was really the catalyst. It was a very personal motivation, informed by many other user interviews, talking to friends, and realizing how uh, unnecessarily difficult the process is right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's really amazing. So, like, uh, what are the most difficulties like you have ever encountered while launching the application or while creating the platform, the website or the application? So, like, or adding up some features like AI and ML into the job board when someone is applying for AI ML things. So, how did you face those difficulties? Like when someone wants to apply for AI ML and they don't look up like list of AI ML um, job descriptions or maybe some job skills. So how did you went up finding these difficulties?
You mean difficulties in initial difficulties in building the product, building
Yeah,
out, pushing out?
yeah, yeah.
Um, so I would say at the very beginning is getting the word out. So it's
Mm-hmm,
user acquisition. This is
mm-hmm,
something, especially with consumer product, because we're focusing on the candidate first experience,
mm-hmm,
and then we're
mm-hmm,
moving to the hiring side. So that's one, and we're employing a variety of strategic
mm-hmm,
partnerships with AI boot camps, campus events where we
mm-hmm,
talk about career, and we also share more information about the app. I want to start a brand ambassador program across several universities.
mm-hmm,
And that's one. Another one is identifying, say, what customers really want. I learned that there is a difference between what what we tend to say before we see a product or we actually use the product and we think we need, and what in practice we end up using or wanting the feature to look like. So initially we focused a lot on the networking aspect, and we realized that sure, networking is very important, but it's the means to an end. So what people were looking mostly is to network and the idea of getting to the right job opportunity. So that's why we tweak the product based on the customer feedback a lot to actually incorporate all these inputs that are focusing on not just creating meaningful connections, but getting the right job opportunity, getting in touch with hiring managers, and getting positioning yourself best from a resume standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. And coming to the networking, like which networking techniques like you have been went up, like going to the events or online sessions, or how the networking techniques work for you to connect with other people or something, because in nowadays networking is everything. Like even we met with Arun in a different networking thing, right, in from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So yeah, so how did you went up through different techniques, like suggestions to any newbies, like joining, creating these platforms or something like that?
So sure, events are one thing. I have to say, events are just one channel, and so that they don't work for everyone, especially those that are more keen on one-on-one conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Events were one thing. Another one was me as a founder building the community, even through cold outreach. So that's something I still do. Building my community of founders that I can learn from, or those who are at the same stage with me, through cold outreach on LinkedIn or through other channels, identifying what I have in common with them, whether in their same space or they're in a similar phase.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding, basically learning from them if they're a few steps ahead of you, meaning, for instance, that they raised already or a serious A level and they can share knowledge and normalize your experience, uh, whatever you're going through, or people who are at the same stage as you. And that can be done through indeed networking events, can be also through cold outreach, and just make sure I would personalize every type of message that I'm sending. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think these are, and then just getting introductions from other friends, and keeping the chain developing.
Yeah, yeah, because networking is everything nowadays. Like starting from the people who are currently working with us, and the users who are downloading the application, we are going to make a session with them and asking like what the best things we need to do in the platform, something like that. So,
It's word of mouth
and
as well.
even I heard something from Arvind. One of my friends shared that you guys are connected with each other, and he gave some inputs and you gave some inputs too.
Yeah, he gave me really good user feedback, and that's true. I asked him how he heard about the platform. He heard through you, so word of mouth is really
Yeah,
important, and that's
yeah.
true. That's how you then you build a connection, um,
Mm,
and you take it from there. Yeah, and then he put me in touch with he's putting me in touch with his university. So it's,
yeah.
I was saying, it's a chain. Yeah.
He told that maybe in a next couple of weeks we are going to make a session in our college, something, if the college is okay to
Yeah,
go on.
sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And coming to the next question, so as a founder, like, how hard the leadership style and like compared to your previous corporate roles, because it's very generic right now. So you have to control your team, and you have to control the users and the flow, networking with the people. So how are you managing everything, like in a day? Like how you are going to divide your time slots, like.
Yeah. Well, you know this very well. So there's a lot of multitasking,
Mhm,
and I need to be ruthless in prioritization. What I
mhm,
try to is I block times, or I block days when I'm gonna have the weekly catch up with my team members,
mhm,
either with the entire team or one-on-ones when I need to. We There's more flexibility, I would say, but also being more hands-on, and being adaptable to what's happening. So there are interns that I'm working with, and we shift a lot the assignments depending on what's happening from one week to another. So we're building a Discord community, for instance. Now we're running challenges on a weekly basis. So even these responsibilities change. So there's more flexibility and need to be adaptable.
mhm.
There's no, it's quite flat. There's no hierarchy, right? Whereas in the corporate world, there's many more layers of approval and getting something done. So it's good. You're being more nimble, right, as a startup. Um, and think that's what it is. Another one is empowerment. So giving them the autonomy to act, because at the end of the day, and that's an advantage for what I'm building. Um, my team is also, since there's a lot of Gen Z and new grads in the team,
Mhm.
that are actually my users, the product's users.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
so they understand. They also can give me the feedback, and they can also, I give them a lot of freedom to identify how they, in which direction they want to take some parts of the user acquisition aspect,
Mhm.
because they also, they know best as users, and I can learn from them in the process. So I would say empowering them to take decisions, and experiment, and that's something that I used to do a lot in my product role, because at the end of the day I'm a product person. So just experimenting, yeah, much
Yeah, that's
experimenting.
what we actually need all the time. And how many people are currently with you? Like how many your team says? What's your team size?
Right now, I have 7 interns. I actually used to have more.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue is when you're in early stage, um, you have to be, and I learned this the hard way. I don't feel like I can give them the full mentorship experience that I would like to. And
Mm-hmm.
the bigger the number, the harder is also to manage the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I had to choose between execution fast, or actually just having a big company team and not maybe get the outcomes as soon as we could. And also me feeling like I'm falling short in offering the experience, the mentorship experience that I would like to,
Mm-hmm.
so that they also gain more or as much as possible from the experience. So I decided to land on a smaller number of interns at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. And coming to the one question, like the question which is like both Weizen and crossing. It's like we actually met almost like a couple of months ago, and we've been traveling with our sharing our ideas, and we joined with the I joined with one of your hackathon team, like
Yeah.
sharing all those ideas and all. Yeah. So from that point, our connection is growing day by day, right? And nowadays, one-on-one connection is most important, where in networking and also as a getting feedback from the user or with the team or something, anybody. So one-on-one meeting is more important nowadays. So how do you manage to keep all the scheduling things, and um, how do you end up going into a way where the users will come to the slots to book a session with you, or going with other users book a session with you, something like that? So have you created any calendar or anything, something like that, or you're just simply giving your time slots uh, within your availability?
No, I have a calendar, so
Mm.
it will be much harder if I wouldn't have at least the schedule, and that's the easier step. Also because it requires a lot of follow up as well.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
whenever
follow-ups is more generic way even. And what do you feel? Is there any challenges while connecting with people in Calendly or Google Meet or Zoom Meet or something like that? Because you have to change up the platforms day by day. Or for a particular meeting, you have to change at least like 4 to 5 different platforms. You guys connected in LinkedIn and went up to Calendly and creating the meeting, and uh, giving the access to Google Meet or Zoom call, and again coming for the follow up option. We are using Gmail or WhatsApp. So it's been like almost like moving up 4 to 5 different platforms. And how do you feel, and what do you think? Like, is there any way to sort this out, or I have this question basically.
yeah, I say, yeah, it's quite fragmented. That's true. How you describe it. I know that tools like Calendly, they give you the option of selecting the platform and then you just join the
Mm-hmm.
platform. But it is true. I switch between Zoom and Google Hangouts, and uh, or end up paying memberships for a variety of platforms for it. It's quite fragmented. Um, yeah, I don't know if there's something out there. Actually, initially with crossings, we were creating the option of setting a calendar invite and having the call right from your just from the phone.
Yeah.
Right now, we insisted more on the networking functionality and connecting, and then taking the conversation from there. But yeah. Uh,
And any questions, Georgiana, for me today?
uh, no, I would love like it's great to catch up.
Thank you. Yeah.
I really like that you're building this channel on the side, and it's great that you're making time for this as well.
Yeah.
Uh, I know it can be easy if you're building the product on the side, but I think they're very nicely intertwined, right? Um,
Exactly.
yeah.
Cool. So thank you for joining, Georgiana, and giving your time. And
Thank
yeah,
you for having
maybe
me.
we'll try to catch up in another video after some days or some months, something like that. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, and maybe we can do it from your platform.
Yeah, sure, sure, definitely. Thank you. Thank you for that. And
Thank
yeah,
you. Have a great day. Bye.
yeah, yeah. Bye. Yeah.
Bye.